Hi everyone, it's Peggy Merwin with Stamp with Peggy. It is Monday, August 11th, the second Monday in August. My first Monday live retired, and I'm 5 minutes late. You would think I'd had all day long to get ready, right? It's kind of what my husband thought too on things, but I don't know, it was a busy day as I got ready for everything. July paper pumpkin people, your kits are ready and will go in the mail tomorrow or pick up at class Wednesday. So yay, I'm so excited about that. It's the first time in a long time that I've kind of sort of been almost on time. And then I will get caught up on the previous ones. Got some other things this week. I'm hoping to get to a couple more of them yet this week. I am working on the flyer for Fall Fest, so keep an eye out for that. That should be going soon. My little techie girl, my daughter, Katie, helped this weekend at an event that we were at. We were in Wanakee at a girls' getaway weekend, is what we like to call them. It's an event where there's 12 of us total, and we just do whatever we want to do. Everybody brings something different. Katie brought diamond art coasters, and I got to do 4 of them. Let me grab them. They are so cute. She even gave me a little holder to put them in. So check this out. Look at this adorable little gnome guy. They are so cute. So I did 4 of them. Love coffee. And then, yes, I worked on paper pumpkin, got that designed, and then got everything cut today along with everything else. So we did Fall Fest flyer started. She's working on a new logo for me, which is fun, but my bee will stay with me. We also worked on Spooky Sweets Halloween box, or Spooky Sweets Halloween Surprises, I think is what we're calling it. That one won't come out for a little bit yet. I kind of need to get things squared away with different things. So, but keep an eye out. Those will be coming. While we're on that, let's see, paper pumpkin deadline is gone. Weekend Adventure Scrapbook. If anyone is interested, I have 2 kits right now. I can get another and do like a kit in the mail, but this time I offered either scrapbook pages, 6 pages, or 6 cards using the supplies in the kit. So there won't be stamping on it, but it will be using the stickers and things that are in the kit. And my glasses are not watching. I'm seeing lots of you pop on. So hi. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then the deadline for coffee, cocoa, and cards this month, which will be a little end of summer, start of fall. I'm not going to get real heavy into fall, but it is August 27th. The deadline is this Wednesday so that I can order supplies. Cost is $35. And I never know for sure how many items I'm making. I don't know for sure. I try to focus in on like one bundle or stamp set or designer paper so that all of your cards are cohesive and it works really well for kits in the mail also, okay? Again, reminder, there is no stamping on the kits in the mail as I'm not allowed per Stampin' Up's policies. Okay, that goes over there. At our event this weekend, we did a shoebox swap. So if you wanted to participate, 9 people did. You designed a card and you cut all the supplies, and then everybody got to make each other's cards. Okay, so here was my card using a new product coming out in the holiday mini catalog. It is Peace on Earth, or the Peaceful Garden Suite. And then it's a wiper, like a windshield wiper card. So it pops up out of there. Isn't that fun? And I love the little flower embellishments. Okay, so Club Girls tomorrow night or Wednesday night, Friends Night Out, we might be doing one of these. So it's just kind of fun. And everybody was freaked out at first, and then they found out that it's really not hard to do at all. I had thought about doing one for tonight, but I came up with, I need a bunch of thank you cards. Everybody was wonderful. They threw a little surprise party for me this weekend at our girls' getaway with all kinds of cute little signs. If you saw my Facebook post, I don't have it over here. I have a retired crown and some glasses. It was just silly, crazy, and so much fun. So I have lots of thank you notes that I need to write. So I decided tonight would be a one-sheet wonder so that I can get multiple cards, okay? Don't forget to like, share, comment. You guys are doing fabulous with your card making, and then you're sharing and posting those to help inspire, grow our community. You're answering each other's questions. I absolutely love it. Mwah. Thank you so much. And that's another one. Make sure that I've seen a couple of other demonstrators doing this, and it's like, okay, make sure that you subscribe and that you share so that we can grow our community. We are over 500 followers now. I would really like to get higher. So I need your help to do that so that everybody out there sees the fun that we have. Okay, the winners this week each are getting the Cherry Cobbler and Pearl adhesive back sequins, adhesive back berries, okay? And the lucky winners are Fran Ward, so I need your address, and Tammy Korzik. So Tammy, I'll be popping this in the mail to you. Fran, I need your address so that I can get that popped in the mail to you. Okay, I am going to put this screen down. I want to show you sometimes at these events that I do on the weekends or these larger events, sometimes we give table mate gifts. Sometimes we bring a little gift to each person that is attending. And so kind of my thank you to everyone for coming and participating with me in this fabulous weekend. Okay, I'm trying to get down here. Okay, scoot this, try to get this centered. Okay, I hate pictures. I hate pictures of me, but Susan, the owner of the retreat house, before she got there, and it was a lot of people were gone already, but this was a shirt that I gave to everyone. Okay, and so here you can see it without seeing my face and my body with it. Friends don't let friends make cards. Don't make cards alone, not don't make cards. We all want to make cards, okay? Friends don't let friends make cards alone. And then we added my fun little logo B to it, okay? I do have extras because I kind of had a minimum order that I needed to place to be able to get them at a good price. So I decided that I would offer the t-shirts out to anyone who's interested. Okay, I'm gonna scoot this up a little bit. The cost is just $12. Oops, and I needed to make an adjustment. $12 if it's pickup, or $18 if it's shipped to you. Okay. They are men's sizes, or some people call them unisex sizes because they don't like to say men's sizes. They're just general. They are not a women's fit, so they're not a fitted t-shirt. So they're a little larger size. I have small, medium, large, extra large, and 2X. They are limited quantities. And I do have a Google form that I've created to place the order if you want one. They're great gifts for fellow stampers, card makers. So I will post the link. You can see it here, but I'll actually post it so that you can click on it and place the order for it. So watch after we're done with the live, okay? I didn't think to try to do that ahead of time. I just barely, that's partly why I was late, because I was quick creating the Google form. And in the form, then you will let me know whether you want it shipped to you, whether you're going to pick it up. You will also let me know payments are through Venmo or through mailing me a check. If you would like a PayPal, if you'd like to pay through PayPal, I need to send you a link to pay it, or an invoice to pay it. But there is a processing charge added on because PayPal takes about 4% from me, and I've already got these down to just over cost. Okay, so I'm not trying to make a bunch of money. I'm just trying to sell what I have. If it's popular, maybe we'll look at sweatshirts or long sleeve shirts or something like that later. But I just thought this was really fun. So if you're interested, watch for the link. Okay, so tonight, like I said, we're doing a one sheet wonder. I wanted thank you cards, so I chose the Right Words stamp set. I forgot to get things up on my computer here so that I can follow along. So give me just a minute. Okay, there we are. Oh, it's time for a new clean piece of paper. So I used You're So Kind. Thanks so much for thinking of me. That one on the inside, that one on the outside. Okay. And then I love this piece of paper. And it is from Floral Impressions designer paper. You want something that is two-sided, that you like both sides, and that it's not real directional, okay? Because we're going to cut it up and we're going to turn some of them sideways and all that fun stuff, okay? This one is super, super easy. You are going to start out. Now, the first thing, I wanted the stripes on the back to go sideways if I was flipping it over, okay? So make sure you look at that. So we're going to start out and we're going to cut a piece that is 4 inches. So it's 4 by 12. Then we're going to cut a 3-inch piece. So it is 3 by 12. Okay. Then we are going to cut 1 3/4 and 1 1/4. And I'm just double checking. That should, yes ma'am. That leaves me with a piece that is 2 by 12. Okay. So 4 by 12, 3 by 12, 2 by 12, 1 3/4 by 12, and 1 1/4 by 12. Okay. We're going to start with the 4 by 12 and we're going to cut 4 3-inch pieces. We're going to make 8 cards out of this one piece of paper. Okay. Of course, I added cardstock to it, which I'm just looking going, I forgot to pull that pile over here. Okay, so we have 4 3 by 4 pieces. Now we're going to take the 3 by 12 and we're going to cut it in 4-inch pieces so that we have 3 4 by 12 pieces. Or not 4 by 12, 3 by 4. Okay, so now we have a total of 7 in that size. The 1 1/4 and the 1 3/4, we're going to cut at 5 1/4. So we have this little piece left we're not going to use. And then the 1 3/4, we're going to cut that one at 5 1/4. So then we have that piece that's left over. I agree, that is my favorite out of that package. Okay, then we have the 2 by 12 piece left. Okay, we are going to cut it at 6 inches. And then I'm going to stack it. And I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. And then, 2, 4. Then I'm going to cut these at 1 1/2. So I have 8 pieces that are 1 1/2 by 2 inches. Okay. And that's it. So here we have 8 1 1/2 by 2. We have 2 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. We have 2 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And we have 7 3 by 4s. Okay. Now let me go grab my stack of card faces. I used all of the greetings on the front and on the inside are the same. And I used stylish shapes dies. I used the 3rd smallest circle and the skinnier long banner. Okay. All right. So first card, we're going to scoot these things all up here out of the way. So now all we're going to do is assemble. So I'm going to take my first card. Okay. And I started with a base that is 5 1/2 by 6 1/4. And I scored it at 4 1/4. You know, I love some of the short, some of these are kind of sort of fun folds, not fancy fun folds, but okay. So we're going to go that way. And then we're going to put this on the inside. The inside says, "Thanks for thinking of me." I got some Starbucks gift cards. I got lots of wine. I got Michael's. I got Amazon. I got fun treats. A beautiful picture frame. You guys are just too much. Okay. Then we're going to take one of the 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we are going to adhere that to our top flap. So pretty. Okay, then I have a piece of Secret C. That's what my base was. Petunia Pop. And then we're going to take one of the 3 by 4 pieces. Okay, and we're just going to adhere that on here. And then we're going to adhere this onto here. So yeah, it was a wonderful weekend to start my retirement. I didn't work on Friday, and then I got to spend it with 10 other fabulous people. It was great. We had good food. We had lots of laughs. Okay. Now, I'm not going to try to guess where it is. I love this color combination, Emily. I'm going to put, so that I don't stick it to here, I'm going to put it down here at the bottom of this one. Okay. This is the top of the piece. And I'm going to use lots of dimensionals too, for you guys who worry about whether I'm using dimensionals. Okay, so that's going to go on there. I did, and I cheated here. I have an old 1.5 inch circle punch. We don't currently have one, but that's what I used to get the white that I wanted for the greeting. Okay, so I'm sorry, it's not available, but you can use one that you have, or you can use other shapes too. Okay. I have a Secret C banner. We're going to put it down here at the bottom. And then we're going to grab dimensionals for our greeting. And we will come back and embellish them all once the cards are all made, okay? So there is our first card. How cute is that? All right. Card number 2. We're going to use another of the 3 by 4 pieces. Okay, so I have a base that's 5.5 by 8.5. It is scored at 4 1/4. This paper is so pretty. I actually checked just before I came on to make sure that it was still available, and it is. We got a whole new last chance list. So there is a bunch of stuff on that is discontinued, or not discontinued, discounted. Okay. We also got to pre-order some new products, which I had kind of given you. I thought I was going to use some of that, and I guess I didn't. So I might have to go pull to give you a couple of sneak peeks of some things. Okay, so again, we have Secret C, we have Petunia Pop, and we have Old Olive. And I just kind of pulled the colors. You could use Mossy Meadow also, but I wanted the little bit lighter shade. And so then we're going to add one of our 3 by 4s. And for a completely different look, you could use the striped side, a little more masculine. Okay, so that's going to go on there. Let's see. We're going to add this with dimensionals. I didn't on my sample one, but I know, right? The colors. So remember, we have the in color sale. Secret C is one of the in colors. Okay, so you could get the inks and the cardstock on sale. The Floral Impressions is not on sale. Okay, let's get these all off. Okay, So then we're just going to center this. I did add that one in. Yep. Okay. So I'm using Secret C banner. Again, I use the same banner, the same circles on all of the cards. My goal was kind of speed card making. I needed a bunch of them and I wanted it to be kind of fast. So I decided it was time for a one sheet wonder. Okay, then we're gonna add our dimensionals. Yes, I know I could just add one or I could add them top and bottom, but I don't mind spending 4 1/4 on a package of dimensionals. Okay, there's number 2. Okay, card number 3, again, uses the 3x4, but this time we're going to use 2 3x4s, okay? So we're gonna use one this way, and then we're gonna use one this way. And my card base this time is 4 1/4 by 8 3/4. And it's scored at 5 1/2. Okay, so make sure you burnish it well. You're right. This goes up here. Okay, so you're just going to center it there. We're going to add our piece of white that I've already stamped my inside greeting. Okay, so that's going to go in there. All right, then again, I have Secret Sky, I have Petunia Pop. I really love that color combination. And then when you throw in some of the green, just for Linda, right? Okay, we're gonna put that one in there, and then our designer paper goes right on top of there. Some of the one sheet wonders, when you find them, especially the 12 by 12, you know, they can get 14, 16 cards, but some of the pieces are so small, trying to fit in, you know, it's like, well, that's not really what I wanted. So I kind of like, I mean, this was awesome getting 8 cards out of this one. I thought that was amazing because the cuts are good sized. I mean, it works well. And a lot of the cards we're getting into a little bit more here where you're going to use 2 pieces of the designer paper on each card. So it's kind of fun. So there's our kind of fun fold, right? This time I have an Old Olive banner. Again, I use Stylish Shapes. And we're just going to throw that one up there. You're So Kind on basic white, stamped with Secret C, layered on Secret C, cut with Stylish Shapes. Okay. Yep, I agree, Patty. The bigger pieces are just easier to work with. You don't have to, sometimes you need a big greeting with the smaller ones or something. You could actually get some good sized greetings with this. Okay, so there's number 3. So look at how we're just cruising along, right? Okay, our card base this time is Secret C. And this one is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And again, I already stamped my greeting inside. I mean, that's an easy stamp. There's nothing weird or whatever. Maybe we'll look for a technique for next week, huh? What's next Monday? We have a family reunion this weekend, so I get to go up and see my dad. Very much looking forward to that. Okay, so we are going to use one of the 1 1/4 inch pieces. We're going to turn it this way, and I added a little border. Most of you know I don't like just designer paper on cardstock. It's fine, and I've done it, but I love my layers, right? So it's going to be even at the top and bottom with just a small border on each side. Thanks, Nancy. Okay, and then we're just going to kind of give it the same border, top, bottom, and left. All right, then we have Petunia Pop and Secret C. Notice how I'm switching them kind of back and forth. You're getting a little heavier of those two colors and then a little fill in on the old olive. And then we're going to take one of the 3x4s. Linda Vanderspool, I know you would be turning it over so that you could use the greens on all of the cards, right? Okay. Again, we're going to pop this one up on dimensionals. I didn't do any embossing because, again, I was kind of going for some extra cards rather than more detail on the cards. How's that? We're going to add embellishment, so you get that. You get the layers. So I think we're okay without adding some texture, extra texture. I think this paper kind of gives us a little bit of texture. Okay, we have a Petunia Pop circle this time. Again, with You're So Kind. Okay, we're going to throw that on. We have a Secret C banner. Let's see, I took it down towards the bottom this time. Has to have lots and lots of layers, right? I know, right? That's why this one kind of works for you, Linda, because you get your green in on a lot of the cards also, plus the print. Too bad you didn't have this one for this weekend, huh? Linda made 50 cards over the weekend. Okay, so there's that one. That's number 4. Okay, now we're on to number 5. Tony's making crab cakes for dinner tonight. That's what he said. What time? And I said, we'll be a little past 7:30 tonight. Okay, so again, here's our inside. So we are going to, are you going to sell the PDF on this? Is that what you said? I'll actually be posting it. I'll post the measurements later, and then I'll try to get a PDF completed for it. I don't know that I would sell. I think this will be just a gift, I guess. How's that on this one? The template itself, I found online, the initial template, and then I, of course, made my Peggy changes to it. And I'll be honest, I don't remember for sure. It might have been Karen Titus from a few years back that I saw the strips like this. And I was like, well, that's kind of cool, because usually the cutting layout has all kinds of lines, which it will when I draw it together. But, I mean, it's just really cool. So you could take part of, say you have a 4x12 strip, you could make 3 cards just using that, right? Okay, Petunia Pop and Secret C layer with another 3x4. We're getting it down on pieces. But look at how fast. I mean, I cut this. I had the backgrounds cut for you ahead of time. And the stamping was just fast anyways, because there's not a lot of stamping. There's no coloring. We're going to let the designer paper just show off. There are some really cool designer papers coming out in the holiday mini catalog and the online exclusives. There's going to be a couple of kind of really fun things that I'm looking forward to playing and trying. Sisters Retreat in March. If you have not signed up for that yet, you will want to make sure that you do get signed up. That really is a not to miss function event. This will be our 20th year, so that's awesome. Tina and I are kind of talking already, you know, what are we doing? What's our theme? So it'll be a good time. Cost on that one is $250. It is like 8 classes, I think, is what we do total. It runs from 7 o'clock Friday night until noon on Saturday or Sunday. And then you just you book the hotel room. We have a block. And then you can stay and just play all weekend long. Okay, that is number 5. A frog in my throat again. Okay, number 6. Okay, let's just put this one together while it's sitting right here. Okay, this time we have a 5.5 by 8.5. It is scored at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. So yes, that creates our Z fold. Thank goodness, Linda. Okay, we had lots of Nancy, or not Nancy, we had lots of Sandy memories this weekend too. For those of you who knew Sandy, we just laughed about some of the fun things that Sandy did, and we don't need to repeat them on here. Those who were there know. Sandy was such a wonderful person. Okay, that's going to go on the inside, so there's our Z fold. Okay, so now we have a piece of old olive. We're going to take our last 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 inch strip. We're going to add that onto here. Again, it's going to be the same height. It's just going to be just narrow borders because I didn't like it with just the designer paper. Okay, so that's going to go in there like that. Okay, then again, we have Petunia Pop and Secret C. We're going to layer those. We're going to take our last 3 by 4. Yikes, we're running out of pieces, aren't we? We are down to the 1.5 by 2 inch pieces. What to do, what to do. Okay, we're going to add dimensionals. 2, 3. And then we're going to add, right? They do. They come together so quickly. It's a great way if you need thank you notes quick. How about thank you notes for a bridal shower, Annie Rita, or for a wedding gift? You know, pick some of the elegant papers in some of the colors that they have, and you could whip up some amazing cards inexpensively. You're not going to the store and paying $4 and $5 a card, or $7 or $8. Okay, we're going to pop this one down here. We're going to get our dimensionals. Thanks, Julie. Okay, then we're going to pop this one so it's kind of in the center. Okay, that's number 6. Okay, now we're working with the 1.5 by 3 inch pieces. Okay, first one is our, I don't know, barn door. Uh-oh, what did I do there? Well, I cut that wrong. Huh. All right, I got to grab another piece quick. I did a boo-boo. Okay, let's get the cutter back out here. So we're starting with a piece that is 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, so we're just going to cut it at 5.5. We're going to score it at 4 1/4, and I know you can't see the whole paper trimmer right here, but okay. Then I'm going to cut down 2 3/4 inches, and I can see where I'm cutting right along here. Okay, we're going to turn the card, and we're going to cut it at 2 3/4. That will take that piece right out of there. Okay. All right, there we go. Much better. Sorry about that. Yeah, right, Tammy? Tammy was making boxes, and I gave her the wrong measurement. She had a 3 by 3 box and an 8 by 8 inch lid to go on it. Okay. Well, Melinda, I'm glad you're able to join late. You'll want to go back and take a look at the whole thing, but yeah, I'm so glad that you joined us. Okay. I'm out of 3 by 4 pieces, so I cut a piece of old olive here that is 2.5 by 4. We're going to add that in here to the bottom. Okay, we're going to add our You're So Kind greeting up here. Hi, Luann. Hope your recovery is going well. Okay, we have Petunia Pop and we have Secret C, which again, we've been layering and layering and layering. All right, now we're going to take 4 of our 1.5 by 3 inch pieces, or by 2 inch pieces, and we're just going to adhere those onto here with a small border. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining. Have you started back to school as crossing guard, or do you guys start a little bit later? I know our staff was back at school today. That was kind of weird to not be there and see them. I got a couple of updates from some people, but it sounds like they had a good day. Lots of meetings and fun stuff. Okay, so there's that. Then we're going to take our little banner and we're going to go across the center like that. And then we're going to add our greeting. Did everybody stay safe through storms this weekend? Did you guys see Milwaukee area? Oh my goodness. We were watching it while we were at the retreat house, and it was like, oh, a friend of ours, their daughter lives in the Milwaukee area. And so they were posting some pictures, and that was just crazy. I saw something on Facebook or news or whatever that it was the storm of 500 years, or in some areas 1,000 years. Some areas of Milwaukee got like 14 inches of rain. It was like, holy cow. Okay, there's number 7. Let's get that bad piece of cardstock out of there. And then we are to our last one, which again is the 4 pieces of 1.5 by 2.5, or by 2. Keep wanting to say different, don't I? Okay, this one I did 4.25 by 5, or 4.25 by 11. Scored it at 5.5. First day of school by Tammy today. Oops. And this time I'm going to go this way. Okay, so I'm going to put this one on the inside. My original sample I did up and down, but I decided I wanted another horizontal card. 3 inch or 3.5 inches. God darn. Number 7 is Margie's favorite so far. All right, whoops, 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 whoops. It's upside down. Phew. Okay, let's try it again. Let's get everything going the right direction, right? Okay, there's that. Then we have 3 layers this time, so we can fill that space up a little bit. So we have Petunia Pop onto Secret C. See, so you like the little pieces after all, right? Okay, then we've got a little bigger border there. And then we're going to take our final ones. Now I could, oops, go this way, but I just like the flowers. Okay, so when you make yours, you can do whatever you want. You could flip-flop them and do some flowers and some greens. I just like the flowers. And since the thank you cards are from me, they're all going to get flowers. So between my samples and this, I now have 16 cards. So that's on my task for tomorrow. I have a hair appointment, so I can be sitting there writing out thank you notes while I'm sitting there getting beautiful, right? Okay, we are going to add the card with, or this part with dimensionals. Okay, I almost made it for Tony. Not quite, but almost. Okay, what did everybody else do this weekend? I didn't even ask. I just started blabbing. Right? Okay, then this goes on here. Okay, Margie and Cheryl, now which one? 8 or 9? Do the cards. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? Do you know we used to, do any of you remember when we used to do scented cards? We would add Kool-Aid into embossing powder, and then we would heat emboss with the clear embossing powder, and then it was kind of sort of a scratch and sniff. Not quite, but almost. You could smell it. It was so funny. And you know, some of those old techniques are coming back again. Oh, wonderful. Patty had her granddaughter's wedding. Okay, there's card 8. There's card 7, right? Okay, I don't think I can get them all in screen, but you'll have pictures of them later too. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we have that one and that one as I get my arms stuck in here, and that one. And you know what? Let's flip-flop them a little bit so that we can try to get them all in one screen, sort of. Okay? Oh, we forgot to embellish them, though. You guys almost forgot to remind me. Okay, I am using the Charming Shimmer Faceted Dots. Okay? Oh, number 7 and 8 are Linda's favorites also. They're just kind of fun, aren't they? Okay, so we are going to start with, let's see, which one did I do? This one. Okay, so we're going to use the Petunia Pop beads. Oh, somebody went to the Boone County Fair. Cheryl did. Well, that sounds like fun. Okay, then we're going to take some of the Secret Sea ones and we're going to pop those up here on this one in the corner. Remember your like rule of 3, right? Okay, our little Z fold. Okay, I used blue on the last ones, the Secret Sea. Unfortunately, there wasn't an old olive, and I really wanted to stick with just one. I don't know, maybe I'll end up doing a special or something this week that everybody gets a piece of cards or designer paper, although I think I've used all of this designer paper up of this particular print. Okay, and this time we're going to add the Petunia Pop ones. Well, thank you, Mary Ellen. Okay, then we're going to go over here to this one. Now, I put Secret Sea on the last one, but I really think I want the Petunia Pop on there. Okay, then where's my little shorted one? That's up here. Okay, we are going to put, and since it's all the same shape and everything, it's just kind of easy to quick throw the little embellishments on, right? And let's see, that one I did the Petunia ones. I can hear dinner being almost ready. Okay, then we're going to come over. I'm going to switch these two around, and we're going to add Secret Sea onto this one. Okay, there we go. Now they're all embellished. They're all pretty. Ah, they're all breathtaking. Thank you, Emily. But isn't it fun? Here, let's try to pull this up a little bit if I can and readjust that. There, maybe you can see them all a little bit better now. Okay, but it's just a really great way to use your designer paper because you know that's what it's all about. You could do some of these. We could adjust some shapes for 6x6 paper too. But okay, so watch for the measurements. Who knows? Maybe I'll pull out some other papers or something and throw together a little kit to be able to give some away. Maybe that'll be a giveaway for next week. We'll see what I can find, okay? But for now, you guys have a fabulous day and week. Who knows? Maybe I'll pop on later this week. I just got to get my bearings on everything, getting ready for the family reunion and everything. So, But I will be back next Monday, August 18th. For now, have a great time. Bye-bye.